Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. With me, I have somebody who is really near and dear to my heart in many, many ways. I love her legacy, I love her lifestyle. I'm talking about the beautiful Miss Michelle. Michelle, hello. You are the executive director of our precious Emergency Food Network, Miss Michelle Douglas. How are you?
Good.
These are challenging
times. Yeah,
they are.
I think I find myself remembering to be grateful a lot more often.
Boy, that kind of says it all. How are these times, as Jackie and I said, every day we wake up to a new normal.
It is.
At least for today.
Right.
How is it affecting the Emergency Food Network? Because you are an anchor of nutrition and sustenance here in Pierce County, and everything is in flux. So, what is the network feeling right now in terms of food?
Well, I think it's really important, Amanda, to remember how many hungry people we had in our community to start with, right? So our normal day is that 1 in 7 people in Pierce County are hungry. So in an emergency like that, like this, in a normal month, we would serve 40,000 families across the county. And what we are hearing and seeing is, I mean, we're talking to sites that are seeing 30 more cars pull up in a day.
Wow.
We are hearing from USDA that we're looking at a 4 to 6 times more families accessing emergency food. So that is, first off, that's people that were already in the system, right? And then it's also the newly unemployed. It is people that, when we look at that statistics, I'm sure you're familiar with this though, and that 40% of Americans do not have the cash reserves to handle a $400 crisis.
Right.
That crisis happened last week. Or the week before, right? So it's already here. I think we sometimes forget that nonprofits and agencies like ours and the 80 food pantries that work with us are already propping up the system, and that it was a little bit tenuous to start, right?
Yeah.
So what we're going to see with this need is it's unprecedented. In 2008, we saw with the recession, our food pantry saw a 130% increase. And what they're predicting right now is 180% increase.
Wow, those are some big, big numbers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what I think about so much, and I know you do because we are both parents. Children's meals. When Governor Inslee said we're closing the schools, I know you thought it. I know many of us in our peer group thought it. What about the children?
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
So 60,000 kids are on free and reduced lunch in Pierce County every day.
60,000.
60,000.
And under normal circumstances.
Under normal circumstances. That's who was already under free and reduced lunch. And I mean, I just want to take this opportunity to say wow to our school districts.
Absolutely.
They pivoted on such short time to being able to do drive-through breakfasts and lunches. I mean, what an amazing...
It was like a 4-hour pivot and they were there.
Kevin Glackencoley at Food Connection was on the phone immediately. How do we still hand out our backpack program, backpacks to kids? We've been in touch with Clover Park and Tacoma Public Schools. How do we hand out break bags that we usually do, about a 20-pound bag, 2,000 of them, just 2,000, about a 60,000 for the season. Both Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So how do we still get that food out? But our food system with the schools has been, I mean, that's been amazing. And I just want to tell people where to get the resources.
Please do.
So I know that we're putting up our website and forth, but we have a very up-to-date, we're changing it every single day, list up on our website of where to get school meals.
Okay.
And that's going to be a pivotal point for families to be able to keep their kids fed.
Absolutely. I mean, I encourage all of us to use our social media in that way, to try to devote a time or at least one post a day for a resource that is near and dear to your heart in terms of an underserved population, be it animals or be it children and the need to eat, and showing the map of where we get food. Let's talk about the farm, because the farm is connected. I love the farm. It's connected with volunteers. So first off, it's almost spring. How's the farm doing?
So Mother Earth Farm, we love that program. And in a typical year, we would grow close to 150,000 pounds of fruits and vegetables out there. And this is going to be a different year for us, right? We are
Yes.
incredibly reliant upon volunteers. We're reliant on a crew from the Women's Correctional Facility, and we don't know how any of those pictures look right now. But I do want to tell you what we're focused on at the moment. So when we think about how do we keep people fed, right, we try to look at a whole view of how we are going to help people get fed through this time. And in a normal year, we would be saying right now, please add a row to your garden for the food pantry, and we're still saying that. But we're also preparing thousands of starts so that we can get as much food out into the community as possible. So we are going to need to take care of each other, right? None of us are going to get through this alone.
That's right.
And I think that growing things at home, not only you're home anyway, you might as well be growing things, right?
That's
you might as well be sharing them with your neighbor. So we're really excited about that, and we'll be rolling that out in May. We don't exactly know how it's going out right now, but you can expect that you're going to see starts from us. And I liken it a little bit to the Victory Gardens, right?
Yes.
This is the moment where we all rise up.
Yes, we do.
So we have an opportunity. And I think one of the things you and I talked about earlier today was there's a lot of despair out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of fear out there. And I continue to believe that the antidote to that is working together.
I
right?
do too.
It's going over to your neighbor who is in their older years, right, who maybe has a compromised immune system, and asking them if they need you to get something at the store for them.
Exactly.
Right? It is everyone that can doing everything they can, whether it's making a donation to a nonprofit or whether it's supporting someone close to you in your family that currently it doesn't have work, whatever it is, that is how we get through
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. Yeah, realizing that, as you've said so beautifully, it takes a village. Let's think outside the box.
Right.
I have some friends that put their name and telephone number and the things that they were able to do because of their employment, and they put them in mailboxes of all the neighbors and said, and because some of them, knocking on the door is hard with social distancing, but everybody gets their mail, and someone to say, call this number, call me, and I'll go to the store for you.
Yep.
Because our children and our elderly and those with compromised immune systems, there isn't anything that we can't do for them as long as we remember to keep ourselves safe.
Right.
Speaking of safety, the Emergency Food Network is known for its volunteers. Beautiful stories of corporations that come together, groups that come together, families. It is the place to go if you want to experience and find the joy in service above self. What is happening in this beautiful warehouse I see online with volunteers and gatherings of big people in order to get that food ready?
So in a typical year, Amanda, we have 2,800 volunteers that work with EFN, and they work with us in our warehouse and out at Mother Earth Farm. And it would not be uncommon for us to bring together 100 volunteers in a day and do a massive pack. So we're shifting. So we're very focused on the safety of our volunteers. We're focused on the safety of our staff. We are the emergency response for the county. So we are trying to, be as thoughtful about that as possible. So what it's looked like so far is we've made some significant changes in our practices. We are running much smaller groups when we're running volunteers. We're being very thoughtful about distancing in our warehouse. We're running small groups of volunteers out at the farm. We still need you. It just might look a little different than it's looked in the past. But we also are hearing an incredible call for volunteers from our sites. So Nourish, Bonnie Lake Food Bank, the Food Connection, everybody has had to switch their model from what looks like a grocery store to a box pickup. So people pull up in their vehicles or they stand at a table and a box is handed to them without any kind of personal touch. Because we want to maximize the safety of our volunteers and the whole system. But as you can imagine, it takes more people. For people that are need food but they can't get to the place, we're looking at St. Andrews, Eloise's Cooking Pot. They're all doing delivery service right now, and they need more delivery drivers. So whereas you might have volunteered with EFN itself previously, and there's not as much of that at this moment, although it may pick up again. as we move to our next model.
Yes.
Because as you said, it's a day by day. We're figuring out what the next model is. But I think right now, if you can volunteer, if you're able-bodied and you're not at risk, then it is great to go to your local food pantry and see what kind of assistance they need.
Absolutely. And I mean in the sense that if I logged onto your website, I would see all kinds of resources that I could say, this pantry is close to me, my children and I that are healthy can walk there and do some work for you and then come back home. And that can be part of our stay-at-home time as well.
Exactly.
Let's talk about donations in this last minute and 16 seconds. So usually I can bring peanut butter in. But if I can't physically do that, let's talk about other ways I can donate. Can I get online and make a financial donation? Is there a button?
Absolutely. There's just a button right online.
Perfect.
And I want to share foundations like Greater Tacoma Community Foundation helped us make a massive buy last week of 12,000 meals. And each box has 24 meals in it, right? So the community is coming together. We do need your support. Your individual food pantries need your support. When we think about the social safety net for the community, it is agencies just like ours.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's everybody that you have on the show today. It's every one of the 80 food pantry partners that we have. And this is how we keep our community fed.
It is.
We keep it fed together.
And we need to keep you fed because you have a lot that you have to manage right now. As always, I love your heart. I love your mind. Give my best to you and your family.
Thank you.
You stay healthy, and I'll see you on Facebook.
Great.
All right.
Thank
when we come back after just a wee bit of shifting, we'll have Marilise Hood-Kwan. She is the Executive Director of Center for Dialogue and Resolution in the House. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back after this quick break.